All right, what's going on, guys? MMA Messiah here. Uh, Recapping the events that happened to UFC 328. By the way, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out a lot. I'm up and coming. I'm trying to really get into this YouTube shit. So, like and subscribe. This is my analysis and breakdown in depth on the matchmaking of UFC 328. Let's get into it. All right. So, firstly, we got Sean Strickland. I got this pick wrong. I'm not even mad about it, bro. So much better for the sport. So much better for the sport in general. An amazing performance against Khamzat Chimaev. Wins rounds 2, 3, and 5. Round 4 is really close, but Khamzat, I think, squeaked it out on the feet, believe it or not. Good show on Khamzat by getting that second win. But Khamzat just fucking wilts, man. And I think after this, we need to go ahead and see Nasruddin Imavov, the rematch between these two. Nasruddin's deserving, so I think by way of benefit, and the matchmaking he's had, we need to get this match going. I could understand if they book DDP 3 because DDP has 2 wins over Strickland, and Nasruddin has a loss to Strickland on short notice, so they're really holding that over him. Maybe he'll need to fight again, but I think this is the deserving matchup. I think we should just go ahead and get it out of the way. I know it's kind of boring. Ignore this low resolution image of fucking Sean Strickland right here. Looking like he's about to disappear like he's fucking Casper. If you destroy one of his Horcruxes, it would probably disappear. Alright, next up we got Khamzat Chimaev coming off a brutal lost fucking split decision to Sean Strickland. What a performance from Sean again. Khamzat just fucking wilts, bro. Sean really was right. Khamzat is such a fucking piece of shit. And he's friends with Kadyrov, and you can say what you want about him, but there's allegations against him kidnapping his wife. I'm gonna make a video about that eventually, or recap on it in a short or something. Be sure to check it out. But Khamzat, dude, he just fucking wilts. And the first sign of adversity from Sean Strickland, whenever he stuffs his takedowns in the second round, gives up the second and third round, pulls fucking guard, just a sad performance. He's moving up to light heavyweight, and you know who I think would be a good performance for him, or a good fight for him? Fucking Paulo Costa at light heavyweight, dude. He's moving up. He wants to move up anyway. He said he's going to move up. Dude, give him this fight. This fight was supposed to happen anyway. And Paulo Costa, low-key, looks unstoppable at heavyweight. He's huge, filled out the frame for the division and everything. And he's technical on the fight feet. He's got lighter man skill. So does Khamzat Chimaev. It'd be really entertaining, and it'd spice up the light heavyweight division. I think whoever wins this needs to fight for the title next. To be honest, that would be the best case scenario because no one right now is deserving. So whoever wins this, I'd say have a rightful claim to the title, or fight, Magomed Ankalaev or something. After the winner of this can fight Magomed Ankalaev. I think Paulo Costa gives him some problems, and I think Sean Strickland wins this pretty easily. But I think Paulo Costa I think he gives him problems. But I think Khamzat, it's an interesting matchup. That's why I made it. So it'd be interesting to see how Costa looks at light heavyweight against a high-skilled wrestler, if he's all there, and how much stronger he is than Khamzat, or if Khamzat carries well over to 202, 205. Let's get into the next fight. Joshua Van coming off an amazing fucking performance against Tatsuro Taira. Beats his ass. Like I said he would. I predicted it perfectly, but I won't get into that. You can watch the videos if you want, but Tatsuro Taira is just decimated on the feet and was relentless with the takedowns, but he just laid palms flat against the canvas, and he just fucking... The ref should have stood the fight up on multiple occasions, but Joshua Van gets it done anyway. When Tatsuro Taira was defenseless on the feet and laying palms flat on the canvas, it was really pissing me off. I was glad to see Tatsuro Taira get his ass beat, because he's a fucking terrorist at the sport, for real. Like, that's why I don't like him. I think he's a fucking terrorist to the sport. I think he's okay with laying in full mount and riding a dude for 25 minutes. It's fucking annoying. I like grappling, for the record. I just think, mixing it in is where the MMA beauty comes in. I think they need to settle a score in Pantoja, man. Let's settle a score here. Get it done. I think Van can win this. I think it's a great fight. I think they're both fucking marauders. I think this would be even more entertaining because Pantoja would push an even harder pace and not wilt and gas nearly as quickly as Tyra did. But I think Van's accuracy and quickness just pieces him up, and I think he could knock him out in the 4th or 5th round again. I think he retires Pantoja with the way that it looks. I really do. I think Van is looking like he's going to be really sharp. Pantoja can out-experience him and out-grapple him, and maybe there's just a huge strength difference because Pantoja is considerably bigger. But it's an interesting matchup, and I think this would be Fight of the Year contender. I think Van could get it done. Split decision, UD. I also see. I'm just going to go with Van on it for now, man. That's not my official pick, but that's what I'm using going in. It's a matter of how Pantoja heals up, too. You never know coming off an injury. So that's what makes the factors come in. Has to retire a terrorist to the sport. Get him out of the fucking sport. Okay? No, a good performance. He showed heart, but really, he'd be okay with laying in half guard the whole fucking fight if he could. So, fuck him. And doing no damage. Did nothing to Joshua Van on the ground. Landed palms flat. Got his ass beat after the first round, even though it was a dominant first round from him. Similar to Khamzat, Strickland, and then just fucking wilts, because these strikers now are built different, bro. I'm telling you, strikers are upcoming. That's a middleweight striker champ, and then an American middleweight striker champ at that, and now a fucking Burmese flyweight champ. A Burmese American flyweight champ. Anyway. Tatsuro Taira needs to face off against the winner of Horiguchi, the loser of Horiguchi, the Gooch Man, the Gooch Meister, against Manel, the Titty Man Cop. As you can see, I appropriately have his titties dressed, so I stay monetized for this video. I even matched him in the background, so he's matched. He's got that fucking gyno titty going. Also, you gotta love to see this fucking gyno right there, or not gyno, acne. On a grown man. Crazy. And titties. Look at Tyra. That fucking Volkov's next. But this is a really good match. I think Volkov. I think Kopp definitely. Kopp definitely pieces him on the feet, and I think he knocks him out in the 3rd round, similar to Van does. He's got good boxing, good physicality. Tyra could hold him down the entire time too. It's a good matchup. I see Kopp improving though. He's been on a tirade, and I see him having some serious power advantage. And if he gets Tyra on the feet and denies a takedown in the 3rd round, he's gonna shoot a straight right, and he's gonna fucking knock her a right hook and knock Tyra's lights out like he did Brandon Royval. And Brandon Royval's taking a lot of damage, but he still has a good chin. So it's an interesting matchup. Alexander Volkov pieces up the fat man Costa at range. Nah, Costa's good. I can appreciate Costa. But he pieces him up on range, wins rounds 1 and 2, and I think he should, he got pieced up a little bit in the 3rd round, but that's all right. We got that pick right either way. He's a GOAT. He should fight for the title next. He should fight against Tom Aspinall, the big man. He's fucking mogging him on screen here. But first, Tom Aspinall has to deal with the trials and tribulations of Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira. So, Gane and Pereira need to fight at the White House. Once that happens, Tom Aspinall needs to fight them. I think Tom Aspinall beats both of them. And I think Tom Aspinall will fight Volkov after that. Or that's what it should be. Volkov is the rightful #1 contender. A lot of people don't talk about this, but I just want to say, Volkov was robbed of a White House match. You know that? They're putting a Frenchman on there. They would have loved to put a Russian on there. They wouldn't give a fuck. Even though Cyril Gane fucking suits him better, he would have been better off had he won this decision against Gane that he got robbed against. And fucking dirty cheater, Cyril Gane. Tom Aspinall wins this again. He's already beaten him. Tom Aspinall is still going to be the heavyweight GOAT, even though he got eye poked and his eye got pregnant and had to spend 9 months off. Disgraceful from fucking Cyril Gane. Made Tom Aspinall a single mother, for real. Acosta. Man, look at the build on this man. He's built like the Penguin from Batman. He's built like Danny DeVito, a prime Danny DeVito. If Danny DeVito were to work out for 6 months, this is what this motherfucker would look like right here. This build. Maybe not this color. Maybe if it hit the tanning bed a little bit. Josh Hokett. The new gen matchup. I say Hokett needs one more fight. In the meantime, he'll stay active while Tom Aspinall and the other top contenders finish their business. Hokett can win this and get his title shot, bro. And I think Costa introduces some problems for him, but I think Hokett can get it done. I think he's really fast, and I think he's skill-diffed Curtis Blades on the feet, so I think he could do it to Costa for sure. It's an interesting matchup to say the least. There are a few other matchups for people. I actually have some notes written down here. Let me see if I skipped any. Yeah, for Khamzat, there's lots of good matchups, like Olberg, Geary, just all the rest, but I'm going to keep these notes out right here. Anyway, Hogan wins, I think, via second round KO, honestly. Costa's got a good chin, though. Maybe he just wins via decision because Hockett's fast, but he doesn't have a lot of power. I think it's pretty easy for Hockett here, not that much to say. But this is where it gets interesting. Two fighters who... Sean Brady. I picked against you, my friend. I fucking hate Sean Brady so fucking much. With a passion. His bum-ass tattoos that make him look like a badass, but then he just hugs people for... Well, again, it's just the way Sean Brady fights, dude. He wasn't landing any damaging strikes, and Joaquin Buckley didn't have any damage done to him at the end of this fight. Good performance from Buckley, but there was no real initiative to finish the fight. He was just like pillow fighting him on the fucking ground. You can't see me, but I'm doing like a motorboat punch. It was sad to see. It was like he was play fighting with him, and it was very, very annoying. Like, at least make it entertaining. I'm just mad I got my pick wrong, too, but, dude, I want to see this motherfucker lose in a fight night main event against Amazov. The motherfucker who body slammed Yoel Alvarez, who we'll talk about later, body slammed his ass and put him in a fucking R triangle. I hate to sound like Joe Rogan, but who the fuck does that to Yoel Alvarez? For real, Yoel Alvarez was like brought up to be like a major phenom, welterweight goat. Not welterweight goat, but like welterweight striking phenom who could keep up with Arman and Ilya, and he's gonna skill diff all these other welterweights, but welterweight's just a fucking cesspit of skill. And this motherfucker right here is a demon on the right. Amazov, if you haven't seen his finish over Yoel Alvarez, I'll probably go ahead and post it after this on a short. It's disgusting. He's filthy. And I think he beats Sean Brady. And I think it becomes even more of a Shark Tank because he's got power on his feet. I was watching some of his regional fights. He's got crazy power on the feet. In his hands and his knees. He's got crazy clinch work, dude. This dude is going to be a phenom. I could seriously see this dude becoming champion. I need to see him in later rounds before I say anything for sure. But that dude is good. If he has a good gas tank and can keep up that type of pace, I think he gives Khamzat Chimaev at welterweight problems. Like, I've never seen wrestling that aggressive in a body slam like that before. I'll make a video on it. Joaquin Buckley, I don't think he's on the sauce per se, but he definitely got some yonkers on him. Didn't want to risk it. Had to get monetized. Sorry to do you dirty, Buckley. I love you, but also you got turned to a woman by Sean Brady. I hate to say it. I'm just disappointed in fucking Joaquin Buckley, bro. He learned nothing from the Usman fight. What did you do for the past 8 months, bro? I know Sean Brady's good at wrestling, but you couldn't even get off of your back, bro. It was like Khamzat was holding you down out there, big dog. What the fuck? Learn something from your fights. He's talented as fuck. I don't know how he's adapted and learned so much. I don't know how he can't learn to sprawl a takedown. It was sad, bro. I thought he was going to lose, but I picked against him because of my bias, and I'm a Joaquin Buckley fan. But fuck me, I guess. He should fight Leon fucking Edwards. Rocky Mumblemouth Edwards, as Bedtime calls him. I couldn't edit this shit out. It is what it is. I'm happy because there's Carlos Prates, the fucking nightmare. Demon on demon time. You want to talk about demon? This is the demon of the UFC right here. Terrifying. I'm going to make a video about him. The best striker. Dude. Leon Edwards, yeah, got slept by him, and he'd probably get slept by Buckley, too. Buckley would probably spinning heel kick him out cold. I think Buckley's a good striker. But he just needs to get in range, and I think Buckley would really be determined if he knew he could go for the... But Leon could take him down, bro. Please don't get smudged by Leon Edwards, bro. He's got good enough grappling to smudge him, but he has... Buckley has good enough sprawls. He did it against Colby Covington. I don't see why he couldn't do it against Leon Edwards. I can understand Sean Brady and shit, but like, god damn. Buckley wins this via decision or third round KO. Bobby Green coming out looking like a phenom. against retired man Jeremy Stevens, yeah. Terrence McKinney, fighting Terrence McKinney next. The battle of the glass cannon build. We have another glass cannon build later, but this is the first glass cannon matchmaking. This is guaranteed knockout. I don't want to jinx it, but this is guaranteed knockout. It's a toss up. It's just a matter of who lands the first shot. It's so entertaining. I saw other people making these matchups, but I had this in mind anyway. I think it's a good match, and I think if Bobby Green wins this, we give him another shot in the rankings, fellas. Fucking Bobby Green is such a funny fucking person. He just exists and gets slimed out and occasionally has good performances. This motherfucker has definitely done some butt betting scandals for the UFC for sure. Teba Gautier gets away with live execution on live TV yet again. What a fucking guy. Nah, Ozzy Diaz was sent to his execution. Needs to face Shar Bullet, dude. This is a banger. I think Teba gets it done here, but he needs to step up in competition, but not a huge one. Shar Bullet's been in the rankings before, I think. And I think it's good timing, and I think Teba could test himself on the feet here and really win this, and I think this could be something pieced together from Shar. I think it's an excellent, entertaining, striking matchup, and it's going to be a banger for the folks. Moving on to Drew Dober, the soy boy. Gets it done against fucking Mateusz Rebecki because he's a goddamn retard. And decides to grapple with him instead of striking the third round and couldn't finish the fucking fight in the second round. That fight really fucking pissed me off. I want to see Drew Dober get slimed out, and this is the battle of the glass chins I was talking about. I think Benny gets it done here. I think he's got better power on the feet. I think Drew Dober doesn't have anything for him on the ground, and I think Beneil Dariush outscrambles him and sends him back down the rankings, and Benny can keep his ranking spot. I'm not trying to see Beneil Dariush fight Manuel Torres, so I think this is a great, phenomenal, hardcore fan, kind of Unk versus New Gen, lower 15 contendership matchup, and I think it determines who's going to be number 15 in the rankings for the next 2 years. Moving on to Jim Miller. Looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle without the shell. I'm just going to go and say this. If this man was green and had a shell, he'd be a fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And he needs to go ahead and fight Patricio Pitbull Hua. Or Patricio Pitbull, I think. I forget what it's not Hua. Patricio Pitbull. Why am I forgetting this motherfucker's last name? He just goes by Pitbull. I'm looking up his name. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just fucking whatever. I don't even care. He's a fucking NPC anyway. He's a Bellator NPC. And he loses to Jim Miller here because Jim Miller is crafty. He's got 46 fights in the UFC. He's literally just he's just a better Unk than Pitbull is. And he overall just gets it done because he's got better grappling and his boxing is better. I mean, maybe, if Patricio decides to take it to the fucking fight to him, but I just don't see it happening. But then again, Jim Miller got pieced up on the feet by Bobby Green. But I see Jim Miller outcrafting him and probably getting another guillotine or an arm bar or taking the back or some shit. Jim Miller is really crafty, and this would be a good time for him to get back in the rankings. I want to see him to get to 50 fights, and I think this is a good route to take for it. For sure. Roman Kopylov versus Roman Dolidze. The Battle of the Romans. Kopylov coming off a good performance. I don't like Roman Dolidze. I just want to say that. I think he's the most boring fucking chud in the middleweight division. And I don't think he's worth a fucking anywhere. I've never been impressed by a Roman Dolidze fight. He has some jiu-jitsu and cannot strike. I've never, he just pisses me off. I don't know why. It's his fucking face. It's very punchable. And I think Roman Kopylov would get that done and punch him in the fucking face for me and kick him out of the rankings, and then we get another fun striker in the middleweight division. I think it's a good matchup. I think Kopylov can actually take this, get a shot back in the rankings. He's been in the rankings before. I don't see a reason why the UFC wouldn't want a Russian striker in the fucking rankings. So I think this is good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, by the way, about these fights. I should have said that earlier. Like I said, like and subscribe as well. So these are the NBC fights, so I didn't really do any back and forth matchmaking like that. Like I just did one slide for these. And I kind of switched up that on this one. Howdy Barcelos needs to fight Pat Sabatini. Pat Sabatini is a fucking terrorist in the sport. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. Very boring performance, but he's good. So he needs someone else that's good, and I think Barcelos is well-rounded enough to stuff the takedowns and keep him on the feet and kind of do him like he did Peyton Talbot. And I think we could see another Barcelos fraud check here. And I think it's a good matchup. I really do. They're both well-rounded. You know, Pat Sabatini was able to keep up with Gomez on the feet for the brief moments they did have him on the feet, but he just held him against the fence. And that's why I think he's a terrorist. He just holds people up against the fence and says, okay, well, I'm winning this. He's huge for the division. It would be tricky I would have Barcelos in this, but it would be tricky for him because Pat Sabatini is good. I just don't like his fighting style. Marco Tulio lost to Roman Kopylov earlier, as we had said, and he needs to fight Suzakayev, who was earlier on this card. I think this is a good striking matchup, and I think this is a step up slightly from his last win, who we'll talk about later. Suzakayev gets a little step up, and we get... Oh, yeah, I don't think I have Santos on here, actually. I don't really give a fuck about Santos. He's just a fucking middleweight NPC. I don't see a reason to matchmake him. But Suzakayev's an up-and-comer. I think Suzakayev can be matched up with Tulio since they both fought on this card, similar schedules and everything like that. I think it's a good matchup, too. I think it'd be interesting. It'd be a good matchup to test Suzakayev, and it'd be a good bounce-back win for Tulio. I think Tulio could probably get it done, too. The Battle of the Gimps. Tagir, the Runt, Ulanbekov against Jose Ochoa. Jose Ochoa is so much more of a savage, and I think he would put belt ass. But Tagir would be a good test, and I think it would be a good shot to get someone fun in the rankings like Ochoa. But that's pretty much it today as far as the video goes. As far as the card itself, yeah, I mean, I think these are all good matches, and I think they're realistic enough to where I could see them made. But the UFC just doesn't fucking know what it's doing half the time, so who knows? You know, we'll probably get DDP 3, and we'll... But anyway, I thought I heard my cat. Hey, Pete. Oh, you bastard. You gluttonous bastard. Sorry, my cat just got into something. I'm probably going to have to edit that out the video. But you guys have a good day. Be sure to like and subscribe. MMA Messiah out.